had a 3-3L come onto my Discord and mess with my mind because they posted this interaction right here. But let me set this up a little bit. Say I have a Teysa Karlov on the battlefield who has an effect that whenever something would trigger from a creature dying, it would trigger an additional time. And my opponent controls a Hushbringer that stops any triggers from happening when a creature dies. If I went ahead and destroyed my opponent's Hushbringer, how many times will my Blood Artist trigger? Go ahead and pause and think about it. Did you give it some thought? Because I'm going to give you the answer now, and the answer is that Blood Artist would not trigger at all. And because there's no triggers happening from a creature dying, Teysa Karlov is not going to do anything. But now let's take that same scenario, but replace Blood Artist with a Bloodchief Ascension that has 3 quest counters on it. When you destroy their Hushbringer, how many times is your Bloodchief Ascension going to trigger? It should be the same as the last situation, right? A creature dying would cause something to trigger, which Hushbringer should stop, right? Right? Well, no, because dies means is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, aka it leaves the battlefield trigger. Bloodchief Ascension doesn't specifically say dies, it says put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, which the rule spells out that that is not a leaves the battlefield ability. And why that is important is that specific zone change triggers can look back in time like leaves the battlefield abilities. But because put into graveyard from anywhere is never treated as a leaves the battlefield ability, it does not have that capability of looking back in time. With the Blood Artist scenario, we would look back in time just at the moment of when Hushbringer would have left the battlefield. Because its ability was in effect before it left the battlefield, this will still take place and it will stop any triggers. But with Bloodchief Ascension, because this is not a leaves the battlefield trigger, it does not have the capability of looking back in time. All it would see is what's currently taking place right now, which is just a Hushbringer sitting in the graveyard. The effect doesn't need to look back in time for Teysa Karlov to apply here. She's still sitting right here and it's all happening while she's on the battlefield. So because of this, Bloodchief Ascension will trigger, but Teysa Karlov will trigger it an additional time. Because a creature dying did cause a permanent you control to trigger, so we'll trigger it an additional time. It's just that Bloodchief Ascension doesn't need to look back in time to see what the battlefield would have looked like. It can see the battlefield now, and Teysa Karlov is still here to have this trigger an additional time. And just to add a little bit more clarity, if instead that they had a Teysa Karlov dying and you controlled the Hushbringer, then your Bloodchief Ascension would not trigger at all because Hushbringer is here to stop that trigger from happening.